Yes. Now, this is what the session is all about. Your handwriting is not your handwriting. Yes, and that is the fact. And whatever I will say, I will back up with a lot of facts. But you still have all the liberty to disagree with me. And I know you all live in a generation of Google. So you can also go to Google, research about handwriting, graphology, validate whatever, or whether you agree with me or not. So the first point is your handwriting is not your handwriting. And now I'm very sure. See, I can read minds. You must be thinking, ma'am, how is it possible? I know. I have been writing from so many years. Like, if my handwriting is like, people have always praised me for my handwriting. I know it belongs to me. And now you are saying that my handwriting is not my handwriting. Okay. So what I meant here is your handwriting is actually your mind writing. And why do I say that? Let's go back to childhood. Yes. Now, when you were young, when you were like 3 to 4 years old, and how did you start getting into the handwriting? Started to write alphabets. The teacher used to give you alphabet, and making one alphabet, it used to take like 1 to 2 minutes. Yes. Yeah, you can raise your hand whether you agree with me. Yeah. So it used to take like, raise your hand like this original hand. So you used to take like 1 to 2 minutes to write one alphabet. Then you went to higher grades. Now the teacher used to dictate, you used to listen, and then used to write. Again, the process was very, very slow because you are still learning. Then what happened? Then you went to even higher grades. Now what happened? You used to just copy it. Your speed was increasing. And a time came when you were like 11-year-old, 12-year-old, when you had like too many subjects. Now the question paper used to come to you and used to start writing, and not realizing that it is coming so subconsciously, because now handwriting became your subconscious activity. Now, people who are from psychology, who are studying psychology, they will relate to me. There are two parts of your mind. One is the conscious mind, which holds 10% of all the information that we know. And the other mind is called the subconscious mind, which holds 90% of the information that you do not know. So the heartbeat, the breathing that is happening, so unconsciously, you're not even aware of it. Yes, all that activity is taken care of by your subconscious mind. Similarly, when you started to write, handwriting was a subconscious mind activity, but because of the practice, it became a learned habit. Now, the responsibility was given to the subconscious mind. So now when I asked you all to write a paragraph, it was coming so naturally. You did not have to think how to make A, how to make B, how to make T. It was just happening naturally. And that is the reason. It does not matter whether you use your hand, your mouth. People who are physically challenged, they use their mouth, their foot, their arm to write. So exactly, it does not matter which instrument you're using to write. So hand is only an instrument, whereas the writing originally is coming from your mind. And how? Your mind or your brain gives signal to your arms, then to your hand, and then to your fingers, and that's the reason you're able to write. So that's the reason your handwriting is actually your mind writing. Yes, because it is a learned habit. Yes. So how many of you agree with me, or how many of you were able to relate to me what I said? Write in the chat box if you were able to relate to me. Relate to me. Yeah. If you're able to relate to me. Very, very scientific. Very scientific. And that's the reason I need to I need to make the foundation right, so that why handwriting? Why are we learning about handwriting? You need to understand the first aspect, which is your subconscious mind. Great. Now, moving ahead, keep your handwriting samples ready with you. Now, the next secret that I'm going to reveal is, okay, let's do this activity. Look into your handwriting. Just completely observe your handwriting. How is your handwriting? Yes, completely observe your handwriting. And now, when you're looking at your handwriting, just don't be biased. It's okay. Look into your handwriting and see that do you have good handwriting or bad handwriting. आपको क्या लगता है क्या आपकी लिखावट अच्छी है या आपकी लिखावट बुरी है? Is it good handwriting or bad handwriting? And whatever you feel looking into your handwriting, write in the chat box good or bad, so that I come to know whether you feel that you have a good handwriting or bad handwriting. Yeah, write in the chat box. Okay, so we have answers coming. Isha says bad. Okay, Pawan says bad. Kritika says bad. Okesh, Palak says bad. Average. Okay, Vani says bad. Not that bad. Yeah, and legible. Talisha, very well said. We'll come to that. Good, good. Could easily, normal, that one could easily. Wow. So we have all intelligent audience today. You actually know what I'm speaking about. Yes. Okay. So before I validate this point, let's understand. So you all give exams. Yeah. What do you think makes a student do well in exam? आपको क्या लगता है कि आप सब एग्जाम्स देते हो? ऑफ कोर्स कभी ना कभी एग्जाम दिया होगा. दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई यू आर हियर, व्हाई यू आर स्टडीइंग इन द कॉलेज. Now tell me, write in the chat box, what is that makes a student do well? Presentation. Shrishti says good handwriting. Vanshika says presentation. Mahima says knowledge and handwriting. Yashita says neat handwriting. Handwriting creates an impression. Vinayak says presentation of our answer. Presentation and knowledge. Okay. Okay. Janvi say, okay. Correct answer and presentation. Okay. Neat work doesn't depend on handwriting that much. All right. Okay, I'll give you a situation. Very, very interesting situation. For example, tomorrow you have an exam, like not that online exam that we are giving right now, but an offline exam where you generally get 3 hours. You go to the classroom, the teacher comes to you, teacher hands over the question paper, and then you are well prepared. Like you have all the knowledge about that subject because that's your favorite subject. And then what happens? You get this question paper and you are smiling throughout. You are saying, oh my God, I know this question. Oh my God, I have actually before coming to the exam, I have actually revised this question. And you're super clear. Yes, I'm so happy that I know all the answers. I know all the answers. And then what happens? 3 hours passes by. The supervisor comes to you and the supervisor is snatching the paper from you. And you're not willing to give because you just know the answers. It was all in your mind. And then the question answer sheet goes to the evaluator. Do you think will you be able to pass that exam? Yes or no? No. Because even if you're well prepared, even if you're revised well, all the concepts are crystal clear. But if you're not able to communicate to the evaluator what is in here, doesn't matter how well prepared you are. Yes. So why I say so? It happens because there is no term called good handwriting or bad handwriting. The purpose of writing is very, very simple. The purpose of writing is when you write, you are only indulging in the form of communication. As long as you're able to communicate to the other person what you're trying to explain or what is going on in your mind, your work is done. So it doesn't matter whether it is good or bad. I'm very sure throughout our childhood, we were constantly, we constantly was told by our parents, by our teachers, you do not have good handwriting, work on handwriting, it is not good. Now, the actual thing is the term good handwriting or bad handwriting does not exist. So what the real terms are? The real terms are legible handwriting and illegible handwriting. As long as you are able to read what is written on the paper, it is a legible handwriting. That means the purpose of the writing is already done. Yes. And so, yeah. And if you are not able to read what is written on the paper, then it is a matter of concern. Then it is illegible handwriting. But does that stop you from improving your handwriting? No, you can. But do not give complete focus only on the appearance of handwriting. Sometimes what matters more is the purpose of handwriting. Yeah. So you have both kind of handwriting, legible, illegible. There's a reason why it happens, Srishti. I'll come to that. Keep your questions. You can note down your questions. I will be taking all your questions at the end of the session. I'll be taking the questions. Yeah. So the real terms are legible handwriting and illegible handwriting. So those of you who thought that you have bad handwriting, it's a celebration time because it is not bad. Just see, if you're able to read, it is legible. If you're not able to read, then it is illegible. Now, I'm very sure you must be thinking, ma'am, sometimes our professor gives so fast notes, it actually becomes illegible. Like we start with one alphabet and then we just go ahead. I mean, then, the alphabets are not at all visible. Then if you're practicing something like this, then be in that awareness from now on. Whenever the professor is saying, I'll make sure at least it becomes legible. So that, and then you only face challenges. Like the next time you have to refer those notes, you're like, अभी मैंने क्या लिखा था इसमें मुझे खुद को नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. Yeah, and exactly, Kritika, it happens when you start, you're super enthusiastic. No, I will write it very, very nicely. Like, I'll maintain, I'll underline and everything. And then when the speed increases, all your other things goes here and there. And then you're like struggling to match up with your professor's speed. And happens during the exam, yes. Because you do not manage your time properly, that for 1 hour I have to make sure in 15 minutes, like 3 hours exam, I get 5 questions, I have to complete one answer in 35 to 40 minutes. And yes, with doctor's prescription, I tell you what, I say this in all my webinars, these people who are from in the farm, who works in pharmacy, they have this special ability. The special ability is they can read doctor's handwriting. Even as an expert, I cannot read doctor's handwriting. Not legible to us, but yeah, chemist has it. They have the superpower. They have the superpower to read illegible handwriting as well. Very beautiful. Yes. And you must be noticing, first notebook that you get, the starting pages are super clean, very, very legible. So gently, they are not trained, it is just the experience, because we are not familiar with those medicine names and it is their day-to-day work, so they are just familiar with those medicine names. Yes, so even if you're doing a subject and maybe I will not be knowing those terminologies, but you'll be very much sure about those terminologies. Yes, all right. So here now I have broken the biggest myth. So all those who told you that you do not have a good handwriting, just go to them and you can just flaunt, what? I have legible handwriting, and there is no term called good handwriting or bad handwriting. So stop using this term. Yeah, look into your handwriting whether it is legible or illegible. Yeah, right. Okay, so moving on to the next part, and that's the next secret. This is my favorite secret. Yeah, your handwriting is as unique as your fingerprint. Your fingerprint is unique. Yes. Whenever you go to give your identity, your fingerprint is taken as your unique identity. Similarly, your handwriting is taken as your unique identity. And I know this question will blow your mind. You must be thinking, ma'am, what are you saying? I hope there are no professors in the session today. I have personally copied my parents' signature in the college or school documents. How many of you have done that? Be open. Be completely honest. I have done that. Somehow, in some time in your life, you have copied your parents' signature in school or college document. Write in the chat box if you have done so. I have done so. Okay. Shrishti says no. Vishaka says yes, you have done. Yashita said done once. Shreya says done. Yes. Okay. Just one time. So one time also it is done means done. Maybe. Keshav, you have to remember maybe or yes. Definitely yes, sir. Jayanti, very, very honest answer. Thank you. I acknowledge you for this acknowledged answer. I have also done. Totally. Vinayak says totally. Great. Great. We all have done in some point of time. Bhagminda says no. Okay. Okay. Vishi says no. Okay. Got that. All right. But most of us have done so. And where we come from, why we did so. Because we thought, abhi mummy papa ka signature, how will a teacher would come to know that I have made a signature or his signature? It's very, very simple, because we believed that it is very easy to copy the signature. Yes, and then it used to be fun for each one of us, like copying our parents' signature. See how our parents are making this. This is so easy. And then we used to say this, Papa, Mom, your signature is so easy. We can just make it. We can just copy it. Yeah, because we believe that any signature can be copied. But the fact is, signature cannot be forged. Your handwriting cannot be forged. Now, when I use the term forged, that means it cannot be copied. And where I come from, I have done a lot of forgery cases. And we will be learning this. Actually, you will now come to know, now when you become parents someday, you will come to know whether your signature is forged or not. Very, very simple, because you'll be learning that aspect. No handwriting or signature, because it belongs to you. Also, go back to your childhood. You know, when you had like same classmates, same teacher who used to give you this instruction on how to write. Like you, we all have gone through a formal training to write in a certain way. But why did it happen? Eventually, even your best friend, your friend's handwriting, which earlier you used to copy, is now changed. Absolutely changed. Like even in your class, you must be seeing that, you know, sometimes you will try to copy your friend's handwriting because you really get attracted to that handwriting. But eventually, again, you come back to your own handwriting. Has it happened with you? आप कभी कॉपी भी करने की कोशिश करते हो, थोड़ी देर बाद अपनी ओरिजिनल हैंडराइटिंग में आ जाते हो. क्यों? बिकॉज योर हैंडराइटिंग इज यूनिक. It belongs to you. So even if you consciously practice it for some time, फिर आपका वो subconscious mind चले जाएगा. The moment you leave your attention from that part, again it will come back. So that's the reason it becomes very difficult when you're trying to do some practical, you know, copying your practicals, या किसी friend ने बोले यार मेरी handwriting बना के लिख दे, and then you initially 4-5 lines it will appear same, but then again you're like, no yaar, I'm not able to do it. It feels awkward later. Yes, Janti, got that. You got it right. It feels awkward later because this is something which is not that does not belong to you. And that's the reason your handwriting is as unique as your fingerprint. In fact, even if they're identical twins, their handwriting is not going to match. And there's a study that says that there's an American statistician who determined that the possibility of two writings being identical is 1 chance in 68 trillion. That is a possibility. So now, you know, you do not use these terms that, you know, that person copied my handwriting. It is not possible. Yes, and that's a research. I know you all come from a logical mind. Ma'am, research batao, ye to aap bol rahe ho. How do we validate that? So this is the validation. Go ahead. Yes. So how many of you are